Hey, shalom, shalom. This your brother Yowatzazak. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Okay, double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, who taught us his truth. All right, who still rule well. Okay, put out a good example. And of course, to the Akim who are pushing this rock. All right, this 100% true gospel to the four corners of the earth, man, both here in the Americas and those overseas. All right, those who look like us and those who don't. If you are of the hopeful elect, shalom. All right. So I wanted to get into something. I'm just going to go right into the scripture, and then I kind of set the context to the lesson. All right. This is Revelations 12, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." So this is in Revelations. So obviously this is John on the island of Patmos. Okay, he was where all the other 12 were killed and the other apostles were killed. He was exiled to a salt mine, I believe. Yeah, it was a salt mine on the island of Patmos until he died. But before that, of course, the Lord gave him the vision of Revelations. It's not hard to tell what that first verse is talking about. I mean, it's talking about a woman, and it says, clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That number 12 should be very familiar to brothers in the know. If you're not, that 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Even though it's likening the entire nation to a woman, you'll see that repetitiously throughout the scriptures. And you can kind of put that in the context of how the Lord said that he's looking for a bride without spot or wrinkle. All right. Or how Israel or the church is the bride of Christ. Of course, just, speaking verbatim out of the King James Version, but we know a Mashiach is the true term. Let me continue. Verse 2. "And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered." This is talking about Jacob's trouble, all right? And the ills and wills that the Israelites will face before they are being before the elect are eventually going to be sealed, okay, and receive the first fruits of salvation that was promised to us. Okay, so and there's other scriptures. I want to be matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up where it talks about how it'll be like how a woman is in travail in childbirth. Give me 1 second, because I know for a fact it's talking about not only the times that we're in, because shit is hitting the fan left and right now. You're seeing judgment go out. You're seeing the devil come down super crazy on us, specifically. The rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. You're seeing that the devil is being made manifest of who he actually is on earth. Okay, so and because of that, it's putting more pressure on the Israelites, whether you're in the know or the not. And a lot of us who are in the know, we see these things happening. Yeah, it sucks because life is getting harder. Things are not, getting easier for us. At the same time, it is because it's as we decrease in liberties, funds, economic situations, or whatever it is we could lose, we increase in faith because we know these things must happen before we get to the end, right? All right, so let me see if I can find that scripture real quick. Bear with me for one moment. See if I can find it. Give me 1 second here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Believe is in the book of John. I gotta read it. Okay, yeah. Hey, Dawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So this is the book of John, chapter 16, and I'm going to just start at 18 and kind of work my way down to give it context, all right? So it says, they said, therefore, what is this that he saith a little while? We cannot tell what he saith. Now Jesus, and I'm just reading it verbatim, but we know it's Yahweh Shai. It says, now Jesus knew that they were desirous to ask him, and said unto them, do ye inquire among yourselves of that I said a little while, and ye shall not see me, and again a little while, and then ye shall see me? He's talking about the time that he's about to, this is after he had already risen from, as it puts in the scriptures, from the belly of the earth, where he was dead, where he died, and was buried for 3 days and 3 nights, which means he rose on the 4th day. That's another video topic. Christians got it all fucked up. He rose on the 4th day, not the 3rd. I digress. It says, this is after he resurrected and he's about to ascend into heaven. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice. And ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. All right. So it's recounting a time. It's telling you like, yo, y'all about to go through some shit. And this is not necessarily just for the 12. This is not necessarily just for the people of that time. This is for Israelites throughout the time until the Lord returns. Okay. You have to understand that as the Lord is prophesying, he's not only prophesying to those men that were given to him, he's prophesying throughout all of the people that were given to him, the hopeful elect. Okay. And some of these prophecies, they really don't even fit during these timelines that they're prophesied in. They fit during this time that we live in now. So what it's referring to is that even though these people have died, okay, they have come back in reincarnation and are here now and will go through Jacob's trouble. And guess what? It's going to be a fucked up time, man. What does it say? It says, ye shall weep, which means cry, lament, cry out, and be super sad and fucked up. And it says, but the world will rejoice. Why? Because the world we are not of the world. Okay? The world is set against the Most High, and Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and we are on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's side. Like David said, I hate all of your enemies with a perfect hatred. Well, guess what? The world is the enemy of God. It tells you, what is that, the book of Matthew? Digress. It tells you to be friends with the world is to have enmity with the Most High. All right, which literally means you're making him your enemy. All right, let's get back on topic. It says that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice, and ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. What's that joy? Salvation. All right. And it says a woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow because her hour come. But as soon as she is delivered of child, she remembereth no more the anguish for the joy that a man is born into the world. Hey, man, that's beautiful, because it's just like I can't have a better precept to the Revelation scripture that I was bringing out, because this woman represents Israel, okay, with the 12 stars on her head, and she's crying, she's in pain because she's about to give birth. What is she giving birth to? The elect who are going to be sealed, okay, through the Spirit and delivered out of Babylon. All right. And out of every country throughout the world in order to receive salvation. All right. That's the joy. That's the paradise that we're doing all of this for. All right. That was promised to us. That was prophesied that we would inherit right alongside Yahweh Shai, whom the world calls Jesus. All right. And so, yeah, that's enough on that. I just wanted to prove that when it was talking about the woman going through travailing, okay, that it was talking about the Israelites and the time that would happen, the time of Jacob's trouble, all right, prior to being birthed as a new perfect being in the kingdom of heaven, all right, prior to us being sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered, if you will, all right. So let's keep going, all right, and it says, in verse 2 again, back in Revelations 12, it says, and she being with child cried, travailed in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. All right. Now we know that not to be an actual dragon. OK, we're not looking for something from Game of Thrones to come flying out and looking for a woman who got stars on her head and the moon on her feet or some shit like that. Right. OK, so what is another name for a dragon? A serpent. Right. So who is this dragon we're talking about? The same serpent from Genesis. Okay. But the real indicating key on here is, why is the dragon red? Huh? What other word are we so familiar with that reminds us of red? Why does the red have so much importance in this particular passage? Because that's what the definition of Esau is. Esau Edom literally means red, named after the red pottage that he had when he sold his birthright. Okay, so and it tells you that he came out red like a hairy garment. Okay, so this is an indication. Also, it says having 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his head. This isn't talking about a beast, man. This is talking about nations, specifically NATO and the EU, the beast system. Okay, the system that is in control of all the world right now, which is mainly head up by the Western countries, primarily Babylon the Great, aka America, 3 K's in that. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to understand that a lot of this is symbology. And once you understand what the symbols, colors, and certain words represent, you get a better picture. So we understand the woman is Israel. We understand that the great red dragon is Esau. Okay, and what is he doing? Verse 4, it says, and his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars and did cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. You get that? As soon as he was looking to devour the elect, okay? As soon as he was born, all right? Now, this is a plan. This is a play, if you will, okay, in order to destroy the elect. And you can see the plan put in place in Psalms 83. All right, let me go over there real quick, just to give context. All right. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it gets pretty lengthy, but I'm going to try to go through it, read some things, and kind of summarize it just to prove the point that I'm trying to make here. All right, so this is Psalms 83. This is David speaking. It says, keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Okay, number 1, the hidden ones are the Israelites. It says hidden because we are literally hidden. It's only the people in the know, those who go out in the highways and the byways, the prophets that the Lord has given the understanding, all right, and I'm going to say Lord willing, that has given the understanding to certain men to be able to now teach you who you are. But prior to this knowledge was hidden from you. Therefore, you were hidden from yourself and who you truly are. All right. But the prophecy also says that in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. And that's what's happening right now. That's a portion of the birthing process, if you will. You know what I mean? All right. So the men going out in the highways and the byways, all right, is the water breaking. You know what I'm saying? The water done been broke. What that mean? Oh, the elect about to be sealed. The birth is about to happen. You know, the elect are about to arrive on the scene, man. You know, and that's a beautiful thing, because that's the first thing that has to happen and before the Lord has to come. I mean, let me not say the first, because many prophecies have to go down, but that's the first indication that the end is finally here, man. You know, well, that's the matter of fact, that's one of the last things that's going to happen before the Lord crack that sky, man. The elect is going to be sealed prior to the Lord cracking the sky, is what I'm saying. All right. So at that point, ain't no more need to prophesy to anyone, because everybody who was going to wake up and whose names is written to be one of those first fruits in the Lamb Book of Life, they're already there. They're already, we're here, ready to go, Lord, waiting on you anytime, you know? All right, I'm getting excited. You know? So back to this, so if it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They that have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So, you know, before I even woke up to the truth, the Lord had already pricked my mind and spirit with certain, you know, conspiracy theory type of documentaries, mainly Loose Change. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. It'll open your eyes up to the 9/11 situation. But the point that I'm making is that crafty counsel is what now the world would call the Illuminati, so to speak. And I don't really like to use that term because it gets a little oafy, but what I do like to refer to are the groups and groups of people that are documented, like the Trilateral Commission, like the banking families that run the world, you know, Oppenheimers, Rockefellers, the DuPonts, and of course the Rothschilds, which the Rothschilds, if you don't know, the Rothschild, that name means the red shield. Why is it the red shield? Come on now. You know what I mean? Because they know who they are. You know, they understand that they're Esau, but that's another lesson. Actually, it's not. It's pretty relevant to this one, because them knowing who they are is the reason why they know who we are, which is why they take crafty counsel against us. All right. And so it's going to tell you who it is. And number one on that list, listen, verse 5 says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. All right. Meaning they're all under one mindset against the Israelites. All right. Who's the number one person that they mentioned? I give you a guess. No guesses? All right, bet. The Tabernacles of Edom. The so-called white man. The motherfucker that runs the world. And it allows all these other nations to have their portion, all right, as long as they continue the treachery, which is to keep the Israelites under the heel, man. All right? They want to, if they could, they would wipe Israel off the face of the earth. Problem is they can't, because the Lord won't let them. Let me go to verse 6. It says, the Tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, all right, which is the so-called Arabs, Moab, the Chinese, the Hagarenes, which are Africans, Gabel, Africans, Ammon, Japanese, Amalek, which is the chief house of Esau, Philistines, which is where Goliath came from, and the inhabitants of Tyre. These are all African people, the descendants of Ham and Canaan. Okay. And it's going to go into it. Like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it. But the point that I'm making here is that what we're seeing today is literally the iteration of what I'm reading happening here in the earth. That's why I just saw GMS North Carolina 777. Shout out Elder Hawad. He brought out an article that said, hey, man, rent across the country has gone up 23%, man. Why do you think that is? First off, do you think the majority of niggas is owning or renting? Huh? Us blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, do we own or do we rent? We renting, man. All right, they got us packed up into these little ass projects everywhere, man. They got us packed up into these fucking apartment buildings, even if you in the suburbs. They still got you, you know what I mean? 3 people above you, 3 people below you, 3 families on each side of you, man. It's tell you in the scriptures not to build like that. All right, and then you want to raise the rent? Didn't add shit to the property, but they raising the rent. Food skyrocketed. All right, who's already on food stamps? Can't hardly afford food. Us. All right. Okay. So come on, man. We gotta look at and see the bigger picture that these different laws and bylaws that they pass, whether it has to deal with the monetary system, economics of any sort, redlining in residentials, you know what I mean? The residential economic plane, okay? To keep niggas in a certain portion of town that's unlucrative, high crime, all right? Not giving you what your house is worth because you're a nigga, because you're a Jake, for real. You know what I mean? All these things are happening right now because it's a continuation of what was prophesied and what the David was lamenting about in Psalms 83, man. It's like 5,000 years ago, if not more. And it's still happening today. That's why the Lord prophesied in Deuteronomy that you'll be sold unto your enemies, because it was a prophecy that even now, all right, thousands of years later, the people who were your enemies then are still your enemies, because the Lord set it up that way, man. All right. When Jacob and Esau was born, it said that those are two nations in your womb. You know? Okay. And it said the elder will serve the younger. All right. And that's a prophecy that we will see, man, because, hey, Esau, you going into slavery, baby. All right. So let's get back on topic, man. I'm excited. I'm in the spirit. But I really wanted to kind of dive into that dragon, man, who's sitting there in front of the woman, and he's looking to eat the elect, so to speak. All right. Eat the baby that's trying to be born out of her birthing pains. All right. Because we're in the birthing pains right now. And you know, it's going to get worse. The pain is the worst right before the baby is born. Right. So we can only expect shit to get absolutely treacherous out here for us until the day that the Lord shows up, and then we can enjoy. We're going to lament until we can be joyful. Okay. We're going to have wrath and death and disease, pestilences, fear, and all of these things until we don't. And when we don't, that's the salvation of the Lord. You know what I mean? You know? Hey man, this is Proverbs 28, 15 and 16. Actually, I just want to hit 15. It says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. There it is, man. Hey, listen, who's putting Planned Parenthoods only in the hood, man? All right, Mark. Hey, I know for a fact, you know, I just saw a post today, man. It broke my heart for real. But it was saying that the way that police are to a black man is the way doctors are to black women. Okay. And I found that to be, you know, super relevant to my experience in life, because I don't know any black women that they don't push birth control on. All right. That they don't push, they don't say that, you can kill your baby even 2 weeks after it's born and it's still considered an abortion. There's actual laws on this, actual bills being proposed, basically, they set up these certain centers, man, and they give you all of this depot shots and this birth control and this hormone treatment, really all because they want to just keep Israel down, man. They want to keep you in sin and keep you from reproducing. Newsflash, Esau, it's not going to work, man. We still fucking everything, and more Israelites is being born everywhere. All right, so you're not going to get rid of the numbers, but good try. But I brought that out because, it tells you that like a roaring lion, the devil roams around seeking whom he may devour. Well, we know who he's looking to devour, okay? And that's the Israelites. But you know who he won't devour? The elect, okay? The 144,000 men, 12 out of each tribe of Israel, and the men, women, and children of the 1/3, okay? Pursuant to Zechariah, that tells you that 2/3 would be cut off and 1/3 would be brought through the fire. That 1/3 is, the righteous Israelites, man, the elect, the ones who were chosen to be part of the first fruits and to be part of the ruling body of the kingdom of heaven. All right. All right. So we can see easily who's the roaring lion, who's the raging bear, man. It's Esau. All right. And in any of these other countries, take China, for instance. Okay, whoever's in rule there, that's the raging bear, man. And there's Israelites in that Chinese community of China. And guess what? They're being persecuted just like we are. Because just because they look like fucking gooks don't mean they're going to escape the curses. The Lord don't care what you look like, man. If you're destined to go through that fire, you're going to go through that fire. You just better hope that when you go through that fire, you don't produce more slag than you do gold, man. You want to come out pure as gold. You don't want to come out and be useless. You want to go through the fire and come out shining, man. I digress, man. Let's keep it moving. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Hey, man, and that's beautiful, because when the righteous do come in authority, that's after Yahweh Shai's return. The world will rejoice, even our enemies. The people who we have in slavery, they're going to be elated to be in the Garden of Eden again, even though they're going to build it. They're going to be elated to be under us, to follow the laws of the Israelites. They're going to look up to us. They're going to love being our servants, man, because they cry. Even if they rich now, they crying out, man, because the world is shitty, man. The systems, the economics, the industrial complex of this place is shitty, man. Hey, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, man, and there was this dude on there, and he was talking about one of his friends wrote a book called Bullshit Jobs, how there's a majority of people in America who are on the verge of suicidal because they go and clickety-clack on a computer all day, knowing damn well inside their soul that their job doesn't matter at all. They go and have to pretend to work, have to convince their bosses that they are actually worth being employed. You know why? Because this shitty ass society is exactly what I just described it as. Shitty. There's nothing that's going to satisfy you in here. The only thing that you can get from this is your daily bread, man. The best thing you could get in this world is the truth, because the truth is not made manifest as of yet. Okay? It's all word, hearsay, and this, that, and the third. The faith. We all faith right now, right? But guess what? The faith will soon manifest into glory. All right? And that's what's going to happen. All right, let me hit that again. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The people mourning right now, baby. The people mourning right now. Okay? Hell, not only the people mourning, you see how many whales and dolphins beaching themselves, man? You see how fucked up the goddamn ecosystem for these animals is, that they doing all type of wayward shit, man? Because the whole earth groaneth, man. The whole earth. Okay? Even the fucking rocks, man. The trees and shit. Okay, they can't stand Esau and his tyranny. They can't. Listen, they want to be righteous too. Just like the elect want to be righteous. Okay? But we can't. In its entirety, we can practice. You know what I mean? We can rehearse the righteous acts, but it's almost impossible to be perfect, and it's impossible not to sin. We wake up and do some shit that we inadvertently sin. You got a job, guess what? You working on the Sabbath. You know what I mean? You got a car, guess what? You polluting the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You work in a bank, guess what? You a money changer, dog. You working in imbalances. The Lord said false balance is an abomination. You work in retail of any kind, that's false balances, man. Because Esau's in rule. The wicked are in rule. So we all mourning. That's why you could trade your life 40 hours a week for 40 years and then fucking die. You spend more time with the people at your office or at your job, your facility, your warehouse, whatever, than you do your own fucking family, man. And you have to do that till you die. Only type of life you get to get is when you have a pension and you're 60 years old. And that retirement age is continually going up. My mom was supposed to retire at 60 years old, man. She's 65 with a full-time job, man, working overtime and shit, dog. That shit is bullshit, man. This is Esau society, though. So what can you expect? Those who are in the know, we have peace about it, even though it tell you oppression maketh the wise man mad. I'm fucking furious. But I got faith, and that's the difference, Let's keep it moving, man. Let's run over to Isaiah. This is Isaiah 32, and Isaiah 32, and I'm gonna start at 6. It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments of the churl are evil, and he deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right." Hey, man, if that's not Esau, I don't know what it is, man. You know, here it is. We in a country, right? They speak of hypocrisy, right? So here it is. We in a country that they constantly try and kick the Native Americans and so-called Mexicans out, and this is their land. Talking about, oh yeah, illegal immigrants. Nigga, ain't nobody more illegal than you, Esau. Let's keep it a thou wow, please. Keep it a thou wow like Bow Wow. Esau, you're the only illegal immigrant, man. You know, you come, you rape, you rob, you pillage, and then you jail and murder everybody else because they so-called are doing something wrong. Come on, man. Make it make sense, Esau. You know? However, the scriptures tell you this is happening, you know? It says to utter error against the Lord. Okay, what does it say? Who changed? Matter of fact, let me just get it, man. Let me get it, man. Bear with me. Hey, this is Romans 1, 25 and 20. Yeah, 25. It says, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen. Hey, man, so who did that? Esau. You know, he even took portions of our culture, all right, and turned it into a blasphemous way of thinking, man. Case in point, astrology. You know, with all the what's your sign? You know, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, blah 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 blah. Hey, reading the stars, all right, is often regarded as satanic and demonic among like Christian churches and shit like that. Which the way it's going right now, I would agree. However, that power in itself was a gift from the Most High given unto the Issacharites, that they could look into the stars and be able to tell when it was a good time to go into battle. All right. And it has been corrupted. Now, that ability is worshipped as if it is, in fact, a deity in itself. Okay. People will say, I don't believe in God. I believe in astrology, not understanding that Yahweh, God the Father Almighty, created the stars, nigga, and the cycle in which they move. How stupid can you fucking be? You know what I mean? But that's who Esau is, man. They try to change shit and make it into lies, man. You know? But you know, those who are in the know, we know, man. Okay? Let me go here. This is Psalms 34:14. It's actually I'm gonna start at 11. It says, but the meek shall inherit the earth. All right, we've been talking about the poor this whole time. That's a synonym for meek in this particular passage. Okay. It said we read like 4 scriptures where it tells you that the wicked, unrighteous rulers, who are they targeting? They're targeting the poor. All right, the poor in spirit, the poor in money, the poor in stature, okay, which in this case is the Israelites. Even if you look on the parable of the rich man and the poor man, that's literally talking about Esau, and that's not a real story, obviously. There's no gulf fix, and hell and heaven is right next. That's bullshit. The understanding of that scripture is that it's talking about basically the wicked and the righteous, you know, and the inherent righteous, which are the Israelites who are poor. And we're poor because of how wicked, you know, the rich man is. Okay? I digress. It says, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just. Here we go again. So we're, meek, poor, lowly, just. Right? So if the Lord, in the last scripture that I read, it told you that that Esau would basically utter, how did it say? It said it would utter, basically it said they would be saying that the Lord is not who the Lord is. You know what I mean? And in here, it's telling you that he plotteth against the just. All right? So this is the same person with the same plan in mind, okay? And it says, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Remember we was talking about the raging lion and the roaring lion and the raging bear? This is the same spirit in this person, you know? All right, the same nefarious essence about how he views life, how he sees the great picture of things, okay? And he is that of a beast, man. That's why it's referred to as a beast in Revelations, man. That's why he's a dragon looking to eat the baby that's being born. We are that baby. The just that it plotteth against, that's the baby. That's the Israelites. That's the elect, man. So we have to understand why all of these things are coming down upon us, whether it's the elect, whether it's just Israel, even if they know the truth or not. The reason why this is happening is because he knows that he has but a short time. You know, let me finish this real quick. It says the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Get a load of this. Verse 13, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay such as be of upright conversation. That's the conversation we having right now, baby. You know, the conversation of the Lord, man. You know, I saw a post earlier today and it said it was just a poster board somebody stuck to a light pole, and I think it was down south somewhere. All it said was, Yahweh Shai is coming back. It was on the news for hate speech and anti-Semitism. And I'm like, yo, what was anti-Semitic about that? If it would have said Jesus, nobody would have batted an eye. But because when you Google Yahweh Shai, you don't get pasty pale pecker over there. You know what I'm saying? You don't get Caesar Borgia. You get a more accurate depiction of who Yahweh Shai is. All right, or who the world calls Jesus is, and it wasn't no dog-haired white dude, right? No, it was a so-called black man, okay? Burly, beard, buff, angry, ready for war, okay? And that's the image that they don't want the masses to know, all right? Okay, and so it says, their sword shall enter into their own heart. This is verse 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is, well, that's about it on that I want to get. 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken, man. Hey, because the Lord said, you know, back in, what was that, John, he said, hey, you will lament, you will be sorrowful, and then you will rejoice. Okay? That goes back up to 13. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Hey, and if you're in the know, you can see it coming too. You know, all this crazy, wild ass shit that's happening, it's giving us the warm fuzzies inside. Why? Because we know that we closer to the Lord coming back. And that's ultimately all that we could ask for in this life, man. You know, we don't really care to see anything profound other than the Lord appear, man. You know, yeah, we got to take care of our kids. Yeah, we want to have, relationships and whatever, this, that, and the third. We got to have a job or a business, all that's well and good, man. But the true core of the heart of the elect is for the wicked kingdom to go down, man. All right. For the Lord to return and set up a perfect kingdom, man. I want my kids to grow up in a perfect kingdom, not this bullshit ass kingdom, man. Even if I gotta die, even if they gotta die, I have faith that even then we'll still be resurrected into a righteous kingdom, man. And these are the things that get me through my day to day. Because if not, who knows, man? I could just be out here on some worldly shit, But yeah, man. Hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. I was excited. It edified me. So, you know what I mean? I want to say, keep striving, keep the faith. All right. Abba Babal and Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All praises call Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the elect.